Okay, we're on Kinnim Perek Gimel, Mishnah Bet. Second Mishnah in the third chapter, second and the third and final chapter of Masechet Kinnim. We're almost at the end of Kodshim. Wow. So now we're talking about what if the Kohen did it b'diavad. He didn't ask, he just brought all the korbanot. Achat lezo, shtaim lezo, v'shalosh lezo, v'eser lezo, mea lezo. Okay, if you have a cane from one woman and mixed with a cane with two women, mixed with a cane of three women, and mixed with a cane of 10, mixed with a cane of 100. Okay, and we said lechatchila, you have to only do the minimum. But asa kulam lemala, we brought them all above, mechsa kasher, mechsa pasul. The Kohen should not do that because he knows they're not all olod, but he just did it. I don't know what's going on in that Kohen. Half are kosher and half pasul because we know half of them are olot. Lemala means above the chut hasikra, as we said. Kulam lemata, if you did them below the chut hasikra and you did them all as chataot, again, mechsa kasher, mechsa pasul, half are kosher and half are not. But chetzian lemalan v'chetzian lematan, if you do half up and half below, hamrubeh kasher, then you go by the majority. So if you did 1 and 2, okay, then as we're going to see, then 2 are kosher. If you do half above and half below. But if you remember, if it was 2 and 2, then half are kosher. But if you do 1 and 2, if it's uneven, then you go by the majority, the merubeh. 2 and 3 or 2 and 10 or whatever, you go by the majority. We're going to do just 1 and 2. Zeklal, this is the rule. If you can divide the nest and they're not just from one woman, I mean they're divided evenly, above and below, mechsa kasher, umechsa pasul. Okay, meaning if you can argue that every cane is divided to 2, okay, that one, meaning that they're even. So then you can assume, we can logically assume, let's say he did all of Rachel, there are 4 and 4, so he did all of Rachel above and all of Rachel below, and all of Leah below. So we assume all of Rachel above, all the olod of Rachel are good, and all the chatat of Leah are also good. That's why mechza kasher mechza pasul. But kol makom she'ein ata yachol lachlok et hakinim ad shiyu mishal isha achat. If you can't divide them, so that be one, that they could be one woman's bein lemala and bein lemata. If you cannot argue, and we'll see why you can't argue, that they're not all of one woman above and below, hamrubeh kasher, then the majority, you go by the majority. How does this work? So let's see. This is our imaginary chut hasikra. Above is olot, and below is, above is olah, and below is chatat. Let's mark those. Here we go. It's actually not an imaginary chut hasikra. But remember, now this Kohen, our imaginary Kohen, he's dividing it up half above and half below. But in this case, he cannot equally divide between the two women. Because let's say, okay, he's now going to take all of the birds from, he's going to take all the birds from Rachel, and he's going to take them all and offer them, he brings them all above the chut hasikra, offers them all above. So we can assume half of these birds, half of these are olot, because the other half, remember, are chataot. So half are good. But then, in order to make half above and half below, he has to take at least one of Leah's birds and offer that as a korban olah, because that's how he gets 5. And then we take the other 5 that belong to Leah. We take the other 5, and he's going to offer them below. Because remember, the Kohen wants to do half above and half below, but he doesn't know which is which. They're all mixed together. So we can assume. So therefore, what's kosher? So if we want to know which ones are kosher, so the following: we know that one of Leah's birds corresponds to one of Leah's birds. So these 2 are good. These 2 are kosher. Why? Because we know one above and one below. So we assume that's olah and not chatat. That's great. We also know that 2 out of the 4 of Rachel's are also good. So we'll leave those as bad. So you have one. These 2 are also good. We also know that these 5 are definitely all Leah's. So therefore we know that 1. So we see that 3 birds are good. Why? Because we know 2 out of these 4 are chataot, korban chatat, because we can assume they all belong to Leah. So therefore we see out of the 5 total kinim. Remember, we had 2 and 3 here. Out of the 5 total kinim, we see that the majority, the 3, is the one that we're offering. The 3 are okay. That's exactly what the Mishnah says. Hamrubeh kasher, the majority is kosher. This also works if you do 3 and 10. The Kahasi says it works if you're even, if you do 10 and 100. Okay, no problem. You're all set. Everything works in that case. You want to figure out the math of 1, 2, 3, 10. If you do 116, you end up offering 100. You can do the math and figure out how that works on your own. I'll stop here. Dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben, here we go, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.